their first fight was, then wow, we are in for a treat on Saturday.
No doubt. Look, I'm sure this...
You're twice as big for the casual fans. Do we condone it? I mean, in boxing terms, should that happen at a head-to-head? Of course not. But these things do happen. This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger. And we wait to see what happens next.
That also, there's talk of that fight happening now this year. And again, it's talk. You've got two fighters that don't need to fight, two fighters that really believe they were the best fighters in the world, that have to come to terms with it mentally. Two fighters that you know, we probably want the fight more than they do. So with these two fighters,
Chris Eubank Jr. sent shockwaves across the boxing world when he hurled a chair at Conor Benn during their explosive final press conference. In an instant, the room erupted. Gasps, shouts, scrambling security. This was no ordinary face-off. It was a moment that instantly dominated.
Yeah. Well, they jumped in really, really quickly. They got hold of Conor. It took 4, 5, 6 of them to make sure they kept him under control.
Dominated social media, turning a high-stakes rematch into a full-blown international spectacle. The chair didn't just fly across the stage. It ignited a wildfire of debate, fear, excitement, and raw anticipation. Fans flooded the internet.
I think once you learn about Chris, you learn to understand he is just the way he is. But he has my respect for being one hell of a fighter. Resilient. I genuinely thought I'd knock you out in 3 rounds.
No, you didn't.
But I did. But I did. And I almost did.
You didn't.
But I almost did. And I'm not going to let you go this time, Chris.
Arguing over who crossed the line, who gained the mental edge, and who walks into the ring with the psychological upper hand now. One thing was undeniable. This press conference would be remembered for years to come. The tension had been simmering long before the chair left Eubank Jr.'s hands.
Treacherous things they're doing in the sport. No one speaks up. Everyone's too afraid. Oh, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want to lose out on a fight, or I don't want to mess up my money. I don't care. I don't need to be here. So if you do something wrong, I'm going to expose you.
But when the two fighters finally came face to face, the atmosphere reached a boiling point. They weren't exchanging playful jabs or rehearsed lines. Every insult, every glare, every twitch in their posture signaled war. It didn't feel like a press conference. It felt like the opening...
Well, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me, but like I say, I don't see there's any harm in it. It doesn't bring the sport into disrepute in any way. This is the show business world that we live in. There's the fight game and then there's the fight business. And from the business perspective, that's probably just sold another 1 million tickets worldwide to people to watch this fight.
Scene of a battlefield confrontation. Cameras caught every heated moment, every second of hostility, and fans watching live felt the electricity vibrating through their screens. This wasn't selling a fight. This was combat previewed in its purest, most volatile...
A bitch move. I really did.
Have you spoken?
I would never. If you chin someone at a presser, if you do that, it's different. But when
form. Eubank Jr. didn't cool off when he sat back down. He unleashed a fiery verbal attack on the boxing world itself, calling out the hypocrisy he believes is poisoning the sport. His words,
This ain't the first time, and I can promise you now, for as long as he's fighting, it won't be the last.
Sliced through the room, bold, controversial, and brutally direct. Some saw him as a whistleblower exposing truths others were too afraid to speak. Others saw him as the villain stirring chaos for attention. But either way, Eubank Jr.
Wrong, but I think this fight's just gone tough another toe.
It's absolutely grabbed the public interest now to another level, isn't it?
This is quite simply the biggest fight this country's ever seen.
Made it clear. He's not here to shake hands or follow polite traditions. He's here to shake the sport to its core. Duke McKenzie put the moment into perspective with sharp clarity. He explained that boxing has evolved far beyond pure sport. It's entertainment, story.
He must love it. He must love the egging and pushing him on. We talking crap about the fighter and, just trying to get in his head.
Storytelling, spectacle. And in that world, Eubank Jr.'s antics are not just outrageous, they're brilliant. Controversy pulls in views, Chaos sells tickets, and theatrics keep the fight at the center of every conversation. Mackenzie didn't condone the behavior, but he recognized the strategic genius behind it. Fans aren't just tuning in for the punches, they're tuning in for the drama before the punches. But Eddie Hearn wasn't laughing. He didn't sugarcoat his reaction. For him, the chair incident crossed an important line. Yes.
He was wrong, he put his hands on it. And so it was wrong. But, you know what, he's saying I'm going to play the villain. You know, I've been the prop, done everything right up to this point.
Boxing is entertainment, he admitted. And yes, hype drives business, but there must be boundaries. Promotion is one thing, Hearn warned, but disrespect is something else. And throwing a chair, especially in a tense environment like this, blurs those boundaries dangerously. His comments sparked fresh debate. Where is the line between mind games and misconduct? And has Eubank Jr. crossed it?
And said, I can't believe what I just witnessed. Two guys that probably let the skill go out the window and just showed heart, determination and a will to win beyond anything we've seen before. And Saturday night, you're going to get it all over.
Permanently? Conor Benn's reaction made the stakes even clearer. He was seconds away from losing control, and the fire in his voice proved that this isn't just a business rivalry, it's deeply personal. Ben looked ready to leap out of his seat and tear through security. The intensity between the two fighters is raw, real, and far past the limits of promotional theatrics. Fans could sense the emotion radiating from both men, fueling
rivalry that, of course, I grew up with, watching Chris and Nigel, and then having the honor, the privilege to work alongside both.
A fight that now feels bigger than belts, bigger than careers. It feels like a collision of pride, legacy, and pure hostility. Tony Bellew captured the magnitude of the moment perfectly. Whether you love or hate the drama, he said, the hype has reached astronomical levels. Ticket sales have surged, social media has exploded, and boxing fans everywhere are glued to the storyline. Bellew doesn't support chair throwing or disrespect, but even he admits the theatrics have launched this rematch into the stratosphere. Eubank Jr.'s wild...
There is a far better fighter than Chris Eubank Jr. is a boxer.
Technically, yeah.
And that's the problem that Chris Eubank Jr. is having. He's got this thing in his mind, he's a masterful boxer. No, you're not.
No.
I'm sorry, no, you're not.
His moment may be controversial, but it undeniably turned the upcoming fight into the must-see event of the season. Bulmack expanded on the psychological warfare unfolding. Eubank Jr., he said, thrives on chaos. He feeds off unpredictability, and he knows exactly how to infiltrate his opponent's mind. The slap, the taunts, the chair, none of it was random. It was calculated, designed to test Ben's composure and push him into emotional territory. For fans, this is entertainment. For Ben, this is mental combat.
Silly bollocks, threaten my dad again, watch what happens to you.
I'm not threatening him, I'm just letting him know.
Do you hear what I said? Do you hear what I said?
There's no
Do you hear what I said? Well, he did get his arms around your neck.
Leave, I got it, Matt, can handle this, mate, I'm old.
Every second of chaos becomes a trap he must avoid falling into. Johnny Nelson delivered a balanced verdict. Yes, Eubank Jr. crossed the physical line, no question. But Nelson also recognized the strategy. In today's boxing landscape, being the villain often sells better than being the hero. It's a role Eubank Jr. seems ready to embrace fully. The clash between old-school professionalism and modern-day showmanship hangs over the sport like a dark cloud. Eubank knows this, and he bends the rules just enough to spark outrage while still fueling conversation. The result is maximum hype, maximum conflict, and a fight now impossible to ignore. Then Eddie Hearn spoke again.
All respectful, of course, but that's what we want. I'm not interested in fighting guys that aren't going to be throwing punches, because I see him as a special talent with huge potential. So I won't question.
Reflecting on the chaotic beauty of the sport. Sometimes, he said, the show overtakes the sport. And while purists may groan, the emotional volatility of moments like these injects pure adrenaline into the audience. This isn't just fists and footwork. This is ego, pride, and heart colliding long before the opening bell. The presser didn't just promote the fight, it electrified it. Paul Smith provided the comic relief, admitting he found the moment strangely entertaining. While some focused on danger, he saw humor in the madness. Boxing has always been a balance between fear and spectacle, and this moment was no different. Smith's perspective reminded fans that the sport's theatrics often hold as much appeal as the fights themselves. Tony Bellew, however, wasn't joking when it came to mindset. He accused Eubank Jr. of dangerous overconfidence. In Bellew's eyes, Chris believes he's a master boxer, but that self-belief may blind him to Conor Benn's technical precision. Bellew warned that arrogance could be Eubank's downfall, giving Benn the perfect opening to exploit gaps and take control. Fans loved Bellew's frankness. It added fuel to the psychological fire. Nigel Benn took the conversation even further. He predicted a violent, fast-paced fight with a real possibility of early stoppage. His confidence in his son's power, size, and aggression set the scene for a brutal clash. Fans could practically feel the collision coming, a 4-round storm waiting to erupt. Adam Smith acknowledged that the press conference crossed boundaries, but admitted the spectacle worked. It drew global attention, sold tickets, and rattled Benn. Drama, he said, is part of the business, even if it makes purists cringe. Dave Caldwell broke the moment down to its bones, highlighting the psychological warfare behind every move. Nothing was accidental. The intimidation, the theatrics, the chaos, it was all designed to break Benn mentally. Finally, Duke McKenzie pulled everything together. Yes, the press conference was wild, but the hype, the spectacle, the attention, it created a rare storm in modern boxing. The drama didn't overshadow the fight, it elevated it. This matchup is no longer just a contest of skill. It's a collision of personalities, pride, strategy, and madness. And when the bell rings, only the truth will remain.